Whoa. Dude, I have to tell y'all, this one really hurts. This one hurts bad, y'all. So I just come in contact with this person, and I knew that they were genuine. I knew what they were saying was honest. Um, it really hurt me to my heart. They told me I just started the conversation with them. I started talking about Jesus, and it didn't take me long to realize they had no clue who Jesus was. Not like they weren't in close contact with Jesus. They literally had no clue who Jesus was. Now, I'm guessing you already figured out that this is not a very old person, but this is a person, I'm just going to say person, that didn't know who Jesus Christ was. Didn't even understand the concept of what people thought Jesus was. Had no understanding of Jesus at all. Had never been, and it clearly, I could tell, had never even come up in a conversation. The possibility that Jesus was a real thing. It hurt my heart. It hurt my heart really bad. This is why it hurt my heart, y'all. Because he has no chance. If you don't know who Jesus are, you have no chance. And you really have no chance. And it's just stripped of all chances to succeed, because the only way you can succeed is having everlasting life. And the only way you're going to get that is through Jesus Christ. Look, this is real to me. This really is. Jesus is not a made up thing to me. It is a real thing to me. You cannot be successful without Jesus. You can have all the cars and all the trucks and all the limousines, all that you want, but that's not what real success is. Real success is having a relationship with Jesus Christ. If you don't have that, you have nothing. Man, this hurts. Oh. Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you, I have this conversation with my mother all the time, because she gets mad sometimes because I listen to what they call street preachers. I listen to people talk about Jesus, but I would listen to a drunk any single day of the week talk about Jesus, because the only way you really come to know Jesus is if you need him. If you truly need him, you have no other choice, because you don't turn to Jesus. You don't turn to Jesus because you have everything you need. You turn to Jesus because you have nothing, and all you have is wants. All you have left is needs and wants. When you, for instance, I'll just paint a picture for you. When you're so high, you've made bad life decisions, and you've gotten so high that there's no one around you in the room. The only one left is Jesus. The only one left is God. And you start talking to God, please let me come off this high. If you let me come off this high, I'll never do drugs again. I'll never do drugs again. It's all a lie. We all know that that's a lie when they say that. We all know that's a lie. But the fact is, the reason they talk to God when there's no one else in the room, because they have no other choice. There's no other alternative. They don't talk to God because they think he's fake. They don't think God is not real. In that moment, they know God is real. They know Jesus Christ is real. And they turn to God because there's no other way to turn. And when they're put in that position, they always turn to God. There's more Bibles and more scriptures being read on death row than anywhere else, because they have no other place to turn, because they know that their human worldly life is over. The only thing they have a chance to do is get everlasting life through Jesus Christ. And they can do that. They still have a chance to do that. No one can take that chance away from them except for themselves. When you are faced with death, you get cancer, you have no other choice. You can turn to God and get everlasting life. When you're on death row, you can turn to God and get everlasting life. There's nobody that can give you more power, because God is the most powerful entity there is. There is nothing more powerful than God. I'm not going to make this video too long, but I hope you get my point. I hope you accept God into your life. I hope you accept Jesus Christ into your life. And let me tell you something. I don't expect you to accept all my beliefs. I just want you to know that Jesus is real. God is real. They're as real as they'll ever get. People talk bad about me and Don the Bomb. They talk bad about us. They say we're not Christians. They say we don't really believe in God because of the way we present ourselves. But we think in our hearts that we're the only ones who are genuine, that we're the only ones who are real, the only ones who are truthful to who we truly are. We love God. It's not false religion. Don't even come at me with that. It's real talk, real truth. It comes from our heart. Because we don't have to know every scripture to know that the ones that are most important is the ones that God says He can give us everlasting life. And then if we believe in Him, we shall get everlasting life. Those are the ones that matter. That we should teach God every single day. Every single day, you should teach God. You should wake up, you should teach God. When you go to sleep, you should teach God. When you meet a stranger, you should teach God. When you come into contact with somebody you never met before, you should talk about God. Because you never can go wrong talking about God. And I'll be really clear. You can never go wrong talking about Jehovah God. Jehovah is our best friend. He's your best friend. He can be your best friend. He can be the guy you talk to late at night, early in the morning when you're having problems and when everything's going great. God will always be there for you. He'll never turn his back on you. He'll never forget you. He'll never forsake you. He'll do everything you can believe in, then some. That's the God I believe in. That's the only God that exists. That is truth. I'm Kent Jones. I'm signing off.